So, I recently went live and I was raiding your online forts. And it's safe to say that things didn't go too well.
Oh, no! What the hell is happening? Oh my god!
If there's one takeaway from this live stream, it's that I am absolutely perfect and I am one of the best players in the world. But I am definitely being let down by my orcs. So I quickly scheduled in a bit of an orc shopping spree. Let's go see what cool and powerful lads we can find. If you want to join the next Fort Raid stream, then head on over here, the link is in my description. And also, subscribe to the channel for goodness sake. In the next stream, I'm probably going to be wearing a poo hat as punishment. So follow me so you don't miss that. The first fortress I found belongs to somebody called Uwargu. Is that how you say that? Anyway, he's only got 3 orcs because I'm not the highest level yet, but take a look at this overlord. Sadly, he is undead. But god, if he wasn't, he'd be in my basket so goddamn fast you'd think it was bloody Black Friday. Let's just get in there. There is only 3 war chiefs, but there might be some hidden gems. Also, we should take the fortress relatively quickly, so that will get my rank up. I smash down the front gate atop your mother, and then I dive on off her and I meet the first captain.
You can't take this fort. That is, you won't be able to once I'm done with you.
It's the little extra details like this on the drowned orc. The fact that they're dripping and their eyes are like a sort of drowned victim's eyes. It's the details like that that just make Shadow of War such a truly epic game. You honestly could almost say it was a bit of a passion project for the people at Monolith. Anyway, I hit the drowned with my explosive attacks, which makes him very, very dazed. I move on in and hit him with an execution. I smash a hammer directly into his skull. And then a few more while he hasn't even hit the ground yet. And then I just keep smashing it on straight into his ass like it's your mother on prom night. I don't know why I'm just doing mother jokes. It's not even very original or funny. But there we go. Ronk the Drowned is doomed. And then head to the next point and I give Grom the Dangerous the same treatment.
You almost got me, Grave Walker. But I'm wise to your ranger tricks.
I do like the way he said tricks there, and he's kind of okay, so I think I'm going to recruit him. I do like his name as well, the Dangerous.
At my side you will fight.
With the Dangerous now in my shopping cart, I head on into the inner throne room, where I meet the very unfortunately undead Blackblade.
What?
Of course, Talion has no rebuttal for this, but it would have been amazing if they actually had recorded something for that. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think would be a good rebuttal to an undead or crazy orc? Looking at his stats, he is infected with fear whenever he sees a captain becoming dazed or fleeing, which is quite an interesting one. I smash my Elven Light fire across the throne room. I hit him in the back with a hammer, he falls to the ground, and then I hit him on the floor again. I then continue to do this over and over again until he burns to death right in front of me. Just as he's about to deliver the final blow, this is absolutely tragic. Look at him, he's still going. And with that, I take the fortress. That was very, very easy because it was definitely low rank. I mean, it only had 3 war chiefs for God's sake. Just a bit of an appetizer, 5 minutes, gold ranking, and we gained 100 points there. Let's go again, because I need some strong orcs if I'm going to destroy your forts. Glancing at the next shop, I see a very cool looking Nakra the Blizzard as the Overlord. Yep, I definitely want that one. So I waste no time jumping into the fort. Shout out to Po King 69. I smash on into the first point and just try to cause as much havoc as possible. I select one orc and isolate him away from the others using my explosive attack. Then across the map, one of the orcs slips and falls off the stairs. I then finish breaking this pirate-looking lad, the outlaw. Look how badass he is, but sadly, he has Iron Will. God damn it. Clearly someone has already reserved this orc online, but maybe I can at least break it so that they won't enjoy it as much.
I don't know.
And then my Orbiter takes out another potential purchase, Doogs the Alchemist. Douche the Blackguard then becomes doomed and falls face first into the snow. This is not a good day for a shopping spree so far. To make myself feel better, I smash my hammer into the face of the wise and then destroy him with an elven light. I then cause as much chaos as possible at the third point, but then when I run in, another orc dies across the map. These orcs are making this shopping spree very difficult. But to make up for all of this team killing, I am thankfully able to recruit a pirate orc. More specifically, Horza the Gambler. I honestly will never say no to a gambler or pirate orc. If they're on offer, I am goddamn buying them. I then get close and personal with the undead Lisa. And then whenever I go to burn them, my mountain shaker takes out another orc. Inspired by this, I then destroy the angry undead cat. Diving on into the next point, I spot a very cool and deranged looking orc who's already broken. And upon further inspection, I see that he is the Dream Eater, so I am definitely taking this lad. I then see that another orc is broken, but this one is a firebrander, so I shame him down. I honestly find any kind of brander orcs just incredibly boring. On to the inner gate now, I find a very cool, devoted looking, Bagabug-esque crossbow orc.
Stinging green cloud blurs your vision and corrodes your beak.
Alright, this guy's stats are actually pretty good. I really want to build up some powerful archers. I just think whenever a crossbow orc gets enraged, they can be very difficult to deal with, especially whenever they have quick shot or sniper. So I weaken him down, and thankfully I'm able to put him into my shopping cart.
I will serve the Bright Lord.
Going back to the point, I find Lorm the Greedy and I shame him down. I actually don't know why I didn't recruit him. Maybe I just fancied shaming somebody. I then obliterate the Stinger with my Helm Hammer. I slash and destroy the Breaker. And then head on into the throne room to meet my ultimate prize, the Blizzard.
We shall feast on man awful.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I definitely want him. Let's see the bodyguards. We've got Garl Deadeye, another badass crossbow orc. Yes, I definitely want him. I think he has explosive bolt as well, so definitely want him. I run on in and I use my fire elven light to clear some space. I then charge up my explosive attack and go to town on Garl. I deliver him Mordor's elbow, which knocks him down. I hit him on the floor. And then all it takes is one juicy Helm Hammerhand's hammer to the face to break this orc. And just like that, we've got a Deadeye. The Blizzard then summons in the ultimate Get Down, Mr. President defense.
Get down, Mr. President!
But obviously it's no match for my hammer. With the Get Down, Mr. President orcs now dispatch, the Blizzard is mine to put into my basket. And with that, we have taken the fortress. That wasn't a bad shop. There was a few pretty good orcs there. But I think we can do better. I need more. But first, let's bolster my forces by putting in these badass crossbow orcs. Taking a look at the next store, we've got the Fear Lord, which looks pretty goddamn cool. Cursed Terror Berserker, yep, pretty badass. We've got an Alchemist, Quartermaster, Rat Hunter. Okay, not the best, but we got that Fear Lord, so let's go and find him. Diving on into the first point, we meet him immediately. But whenever he becomes broken, before I'm able to dominate him, he becomes enraged. He starts throwing his spear like a madman. And very sadly, my Orbiter puts him down. Oh no. The one good orc that I actually wanted is gone.
I knew it. I knew I'd been too soft on my boys. You may have gained some ground, but we'll push you back. And when we're done killing a lot of you, I'm gonna have a word with my lads.
The Snowflake might be the orc to make me get over losing the Fear Lord. I hit him with my hammer repeatedly until he is ready to join the cause. And there we go, we didn't get a Fear Lord, but we did get a pretty badass looking shield bearer Snowflake. And then sadly, as I'm running to the next point, my Mountain Shaker takes out Pash the Alchemist. But I get a consolation prize in the form of this foil spawn.
I will be your chosen!
But before moving on to the next point, I need to take care of a bit of business here. This lad has been holding me back. He's been dying constantly, so it's time to go, Deathmonger. Your time has come. With that dead weight now dropped, I continue the shopping spree on to the next point, and I find quite a cool orc. Ishmael's the Defiler. I will definitely take him. Later on in the fort raid, I come across quite a cool Stitch Olog.
Thank you. Whatever magics you used when you took my head will not allow me to die. Getting killed by you was the best thing that ever happened to me.
This dialogue is pretty nice to hear because I haven't actually gotten a Stitch in my current playthrough. I do love how he thinks he's immortal even though he's clearly been stitched back together. Like, this guy definitely has an expiry date. Either way, I am 100% taking him. With the lovely Frankenstein's monster on my side, we take the last point, and then I smash a hammer directly into the skull of the quartermaster. I then fire another hammer directly up the ass of this downed orc. The immovable then gets taken out by my newly recruited Defiler, and I come face to face with a disgusting Hoglick.
All doesn't matter anyway. What matters is the strength of the Uruks inside it.
My Arbiter Orc then takes out the Pit Fighter. Honestly, I think the Arbiter might be the MVP of my team. I do quite like this Hoglick. Well, I like his job. He reminds me of Charlie from Always Sunny, so let's recruit him. Even though he's a Hoglick, let's recruit him. Ha! Only joking. Screw you, Hoglick. You're never joining my army again. Goodbye. I then go into the throne room to get a good look at the Overlord.
So, the man built scurries into my throne room like the rat he is.
Grook the Bold, and he is honestly kind of pathetic. He's got a fear of pinning. I have no idea why he's the Overlord. I get on in close, smash him with my hammer a few times. I clear out the orcs using my flaming elven light while my brand new bodyguard shoots a bolt directly into his goddamn heart. This bodyguard is the Dead-Eye crossbow orc that I got from one of the previous forts. And if you watched my last Shadow of War livestream where I was raiding your forts, this bodyguard actually saved my ass massively in one of them. But there we go, fort conquered, but we didn't get very many good orcs there, so let's get straight into another one. Alright, let's see who's exactly at the first point. We've got Gooby the Warmonger, we've got a tower. Okay, I could take a tower maybe. And oh my god, two of my lads have been downed by the wall. I can't let them die to the wall exploding. That would be so embarrassing. Right, I'm going to focus on trying to take this tower. Oh god, we all know what he's going to say.
I have donned the tower's armor.
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah, tower mate, honestly, we don't care, lad. We don't care what you have to say. Get the hell in my basket. On to the next point, I shame down Gooby the Warmonger because he's kind of boring. And then I come across a very interesting Beastmaster Feral Olog. And upon further inspection, I see that he has the Dead Mother trait, which means he can summon in his own army of ghouls. I love this trait. I definitely need to add him to my ever-growing army. Get in my basket, big lad, if you can goddamn fit. There we go, we got ourselves a big, fat, lovely Den Mother. And he's also the breaker, so he definitely broke some poor lad's sword. Grom the Dangerous then gets to work dispatching this poor slave captain. Moving on to the next point, I shame down this Stitch. I don't want another one. I then very narrowly avoid getting taken out by this legend Olog. Twice. I get some distance from this scary lad, and that's when the Discipline Master falls over into the mud. And then thanks to my flurry of explosions and hammer attacks, the legend is ready to be put into my basket. We are just going on a goddamn Olog shopping spree right now. Before taking the point, I also grabbed this pretty cool looking wicked runty orc. Just as a bit of a bonus, but I am definitely filming a new Run to Riches very soon, so he'll definitely be a part of that. Moving on to the final point, I spot a goddamn Baga variant, the Torturer. This one looks absolutely terrifying. And looking at his stats, he's goddamn good as well, so I definitely need him. I think I'm gonna make him my personal bodyguard. Let's hear what he has to say first. Can he even speak?
Thinking about a retreat, Ranger? We've barely started to fight.
Wow, he can speak. I feel like every time I see orcs like this, they can never speak. They're always shamed within an inch of their life. My orbiter takes out another orc, and it's general chaos over there as many of my lads are down. I try to stay focused on Baga while more of my lads take out orcs. My awesome devoted orc takes out a legendary runt. My orbiter takes out another tower variant. My mountain shaker runs out of blood. And I head back to the first inner point because loads of my guys are down. There's also legendary weapons everywhere here. So I decide to take the point and then get them all back on their feet. Together as a team, we then take the final point and I'm able to recruit Baga the Torturer. Yep, he's definitely going to become my new bodyguard, for sure. I then head on into the throne room to face the Overlord. But before we see him, lads, feel free to subscribe to this channel. And also check out my second channel, it's linked in the description. Let me know in the comments what other games you'd like to see me play there.
This fort belongs to the Dark Lord. You will pay for attacking it. I swear this as a true warrior and servant of Southron.
Okay, I like him. His stats aren't very good, but I like him.
Today you will serve him by dying for him.
I think I just like any Olog that has anything to do with blood in their name. Taking a look at his bodyguards, we've got the Trophy Hunter, who's actually pretty good. I mean, he's a free 6/6. No hate though, doesn't get angry at anything. He's very patient, very good temperament. And oh dear, the Blood Drinker is not arrow-proof. Or should I say, not hammer-proof. So this throne room is pretty much about wrapped up here. I am going to take this Olog and I'm going to put him straight into my basket, yes.
I am yours, bright lord.
And there we go, that's another fort/shop down in about 12 minutes. Going on and looking at the next fort, I immediately spot someone very interesting looking on the bottom left of the fortress. It is none other than the goddamn merchant orc. This is legitimately the first time that I've ever seen him in an online ranked fort raid. And oh my god, am I so excited. I finally found him. We've also got this pretty cool looking sort of blood blight orc here. I wouldn't mind grabbing him as well, but let's be honest, this is about the merchant. I need to be so goddamn careful. It would be very classic FAsterisks if I build this up so much and then I actually end up killing the merchant by accident. That would be classic my channel. That would be classic my live streams. But oh my goodness, just look at him. He's absolutely stunning. Also, if you don't know why I want him, he basically creates these completely all black painted Ologs. No other orc in the game does this. It is a glitch that is specifically for the merchant, and he never appears in my game. I don't think I've ever seen the merchant naturally appear. I also believe that Warner Brothers, whenever they got rid of all of the in-game purchases, I believe they got rid of the merchant. I am being so careful here not to kill him. I hit him with the fire elven light, but thank goodness he is not affected by fire, and I have just recruited my first ever lovely merchant.
I am yours too, come on!
My god, we have just unlocked a brand new team for any future civil wars. I will also probably do a pit fight tournament with all black Ologs, so follow me so you don't miss that. The hacker face plants the floor over at the second point for some reason. I then stealth attack and kill the Ravenous right here. Which leads me to take the point. On the way to the next one, I smash a hammer right into the side of the skull of the Dreamer and he rattles to the floor. I then do the same to the foil. I hit him so hard that he loses all of his pixels. I then burn the Merciful with a flaming Helm hammer. I somehow stealth attack the Skull Cracker in the middle of this busy crowd. The defending orcs then have a wee bit of shenanigans as the Blight takes out the Wise. During the chaos, I dive on in and I shame down the Unashamed. Let's see if he can maintain this act. Yes, that is definitely the face of an orc that is very much enjoying being shamed. I then spot a rather familiar looking runt on the floor. Hang on a minute. He very much looks like one of my favorite runty orcs, Bork the Dead. I guess this is going to be Bork's new best friend, Garl the Dead. With the fort now cleaned up, I head on into the throne room to meet the Overlord.
Oh, no you don't. You've already stolen my name. You can't take this fort. I'll die before I let that happen.
Is that a promise, Lorm? He's alright. I might recruit him just for the sake of it. I mean, he does have no chance in throwing knives, which I do like. So, yeah. I reckon I'll grab this guy. The bodyguard. Oh, Ronk the Firsty. He's basically a drunk orc. Yes, I would love to get Ronk the Firsty. In fact, he is now the #1 priority. But obviously, I'm far too strong and I accidentally almost execute him.
Before you kill me, how about one more little drink before you kill me?
Well, that's convinced me. You get to live, Firsty. Yeah, I definitely need this orc in my garrison right now. He's retreating! What a smart lad. He knows that he has lost the fight. Although, I'll be honest, a drunk lad would never run away in a fight. Once that fight begins, no matter how many times that drunk guy is getting knocked down, he is going to continue to go back to the fight. That's just what drunk people do. But then, very sadly, before I even get a chance to recruit the Firsty, my bodyguard seemingly just one-shots the Overlord. God damn it, I should have known that Bag of the Torturer was too powerful for this throne room. I shouldn't even have brought him. That's my bad. God damn it. Well, I'm going to put an official hit out on that Firsty orc. I want him, and I am definitely going to find him in this series. Mark my words, I will find the Firsty in a future shopping spree. And I end up raiding the fort in just over 5 minutes, which isn't too bad at all. Obviously, the orcs were a lot weaker, but going into the next fort, they have jumped up a few levels. And taking a closer look, we can see that there is a very interesting looking Gold Fang. I love the Gold Fangs, but sadly this one is undead, so he can't be recruited. There's also kind of an interesting Whisper or Orc. I do like those ones, but you never know what kind of hidden gems there might be in the crevices under the aisles in this Orc store. I come across Shag the Slaughterer, and I'll be honest, he's not really doing it for me, so he's gonna get the big fat shaming. Sorry, Shag. I do like your first name, but the rest of you is very, very mid. At the next point, I give Muzu the Deranged the Darth Maul treatment. I then start peppering the Gold Fang with my hammers. I am just very, very sad that he is undead. Oh, what could have been, Gold Fang? What could have been? Oh well. With the wasted potential now put down, I head to the final point where I blow up the Dwarf Eater. How dare you eat my brothers? For those of you that don't get that, my Twitch chat call me a dwarf, or a hobbit, or Lord Farquaad. Take your pick.
This where I brew all best grog.
I meet the Grog Maker Overlord, and I do actually quite like him. He's basically just a big version of Bag of the Alchemist, except he's not intelligent. And rather than making steroid-infused tonics, he just devotes his life to making grog. Honestly, can't really blame him for that, but yes, I am definitely taking him. Get in my basket, Mr. Grog Maker.
You serve me!
That was the fastest one yet, just over 5 minutes. Let's get another one. And immediately I spot an orc that I am very interested in, and it looks like this guy can summon in spiders, which is a very annoying skill, so I definitely want to have him. We've also got a Fear Lord, a Machine, and a Snowflake, so quite a good shop. When entering the first point, I find this lovely little nugget of an Olog, a frog blood. Look at this lad, green paint and all. I am definitely going to grab him and put him in my basket. I say this all the time, but I am definitely going to be doing another season of Civil War. So it's very much in my best interest to grab every single color painted orc and Olog that I see.
I serve you.
While running to the next point, I'm chasing down an orc that's trying to retreat. How dare you try and run away from me? But then as I'm about to go for my second explosive attack, he is Get Down Mr. Presidented by a Caragor, who goddamn saves his life. By the time I get the beast off me, he is far enough away that I now don't give a shit. I've got more interesting things to do, like smashing the hammer into the side of the head of the Iron Fist. Screw you and screw that terrible series you made. I smash on into the point and it is just general chaos in here. There are bodies everywhere. What the hell is going on? But in the midst of all the chaos, my breaker takes out the Taskmaster, Greg Davies. I then begin to explode everything, just trying to clear out some of the bodies. And when that fails to work, I take the point. While everyone's clearing out, I spot a weak Olog, so I decide to focus on him. That hammer I missed with, that was tactical, alright? That was a 5,000 IQ play that you wouldn't understand. While heading to the next point, I spot a bit of a straggler, so I decide to get my shame on. But before arriving at the next point, one of the Ologs succumbs to poison. I then dive on in, take the point, and then I recruit the meat hoarder Olog. And then in the middle of all the chaos, I'm trying to get two of my lads back up, and that's when I spot such a badass Olog. Look at this guy, the champion. He's not too bad stats-wise, but he's sporting some of the coolest armor in the entire game. And also it's very nicely combined with the Call Reinforcements banner look. So it's safe to say that this is one rare item that I definitely want to purchase. The Frog Blood that I recruited earlier then takes out the Fear Lord, which is a shame because I kind of wanted him. My Blizzard lad then takes out a very cool looking purple orc. But all of this doesn't matter as long as I can get the champion. I teleport on into the inner gate, and just when I do that, my Painless decides to dismember the Merciless with one of the most brutal executions in the entire game. At the final point now, and it's pure chaos. 3 of my orcs are down, and there are so many enemy captains. My Ghoul Breaker then takes out the Flamemonger. I then start smashing hammers into this sweet, sweet orc before he delivers me a beautiful bit of dialogue.
My sweet.
Wow, that was surprisingly quick. I'm glad he's got Death-defying because I kind of want to recruit him. But sadly, my orcs have other plans. With the sweet now decapitated and all of the points taken, I run over to the horde of fighting orcs to try and get some quick purchases. Starting off with Mozu the Machine.
I am chosen, master.
And then something very tragic happens. When I'm trying to recruit the champion, I end up grabbing this orc instead. Naturally, I take him and add him to my basket. But whenever I come back out, I can see the champion is just lying there on the floor, motionless. His body then disappears and his legend is lost to time forever. R.I.P. you badass looking champion orc. I probably should have spent more time focusing on you, and I'm sorry. Ultimately, he died of a broken heart. I then finally meet the captain, who was the reason why I'm actually raiding this fortress.
You've spilled a lot of our blood and guts.
Right, his dialogue's actually very boring and generic. He doesn't talk about spiders once. But despite that, I'm still gonna take him.
You cannot resist.
Still trying to forget the tragic loss of the champion, I head on into the throne room,
Truth about this fort, Ranger.
where I meet the Thrall. And if you don't know the game very well, you might think, wow, what a badass looking Olog. But actually, he's just from a DLC, so having him as your overlord, I think, is a little bit cheap. It's basically just like having Bruise as your overlord, which is so boring. Once he's done yapping, I summon in my bodyguard and I get to work. Thankfully, he's soft-headed, so this shouldn't take long at all. And yep, it really doesn't. Just a few hammers to the noggin, one fire elven light, and this lad is ready to give me his final words. Alright, I actually really don't care what you're gonna say here, so let's just cut to you dying. And there we go, just like that, we have done another successful shopping spree. We actually got a pretty good haul of orcs. These lads are gonna help me raid your forts, because I desperately needed better orcs. Speaking of that, comment on this video if you want to be raided, and thank you for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss whenever I actually raid your forts, and inevitably lose to them. Hahaha, fantastic.
Subscribe for more of that delicious Shadow of War content. Come on, it's probably free to do. And if it isn't, maybe it's worth the money. I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet, but you can trust me. I'm an anonymous voiceover. Those are very trustworthy.